Hi, I'm Callie and welcome to Kapowski Reads. And in this vlog I am hoping to read a decent amount of orange covered Kindle books. This is part of a Unstuff Your Kindle challenge. I think I've got the right title, but if I've not, I will pop a little thing up. There's a chance I'm wrong. This is organised by Beccie at Bex Reads, so thank you, Beccie. I don't know how many books I'm going to be able to get through. I'm going to try to get through like 3. That feels maybe like I'm trying to be a little bit too optimistic there, but I'm hoping to get at least 1. I'm totally obsessed with this collar right now, but it's not attached to anything, so it keeps like going around, but we'll make it work. First up, I'm going to be reading The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. This is going to be my 5th book by this author. I have read and loved The Guest List and Hunting Party. I adored them. I read The Paris Apartment, which I think I gave 5 stars, but with the benefit of hindsight, I should have given it like 4. I also read The Book of Lost Things, I think was the title. It was not a mystery, not a thriller. It was like a historical family saga kind of book. And I had a good time with that book, even though it just left me like an emotional wreck. So I know I like this author's writing and I'm really excited to go into it. This is a thriller and it focuses on a grand hotel has been set up on the south coast, and it's kind of very exclusionary, kind of only welcoming the hoi polloi, the very wealthiest of society, and as such the people who live nearby are like, what's going on here? You don't want to hire anybody, you don't want to use like local providers, like you don't want to be part of the community. It's very like, we're better than you is the vibe I'm getting from this hotel. And I know there's going to be a little bit of a murder mystery and I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I really just want a good murder mystery. It feels the season for it. I really like when it's colder. I want to read murder mysteries. I want to read murder mysteries most of the time, but I'm so excited. I know it's going to be multi-POV because every book I've read by this author is. And I'm excited. If I've got time afterwards, I have a whole bunch of other orange covered Kindle books I would like to get to, but this is my priority and I'm going in and I'm excited. I was in the office today, hence I've got my Monday dress on. And today was the first day in, I would say definitely this season, where I went to work in the dark and I came home from work in the dark. So we are now definitely in the time of year where a vitamin D supplement is definitely needed, at least for me. My partner and I actually have we have these little chewable vitamin D tablets and we have them like as a pre-pudding after dinner. It's kind of adorable, but it's just a good way for us to remember, oh yeah, there's no daylight and we kind of need to do something about that. So I did my usual thing of reading in the coffee shop before I go to work. It's my favourite thing. If I've got a day in the office, I just need to have some time to just be with my thoughts and my book. And I finished The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley. I did give a description of what the book was about, I think, in the intro, but just in case I didn't, this is a thriller kind of mystery set in Dorset, which is on the south coast of England, and a grand old family home has been turned into like this wellness retreat for those who don't worry about money so much, and a 15-year-old secret is revealed. I'm not going to mince my words with you because we're honest here. I didn't like this book, or at the very least I was disappointed by it. So I'm going to tell you what I liked first, because that feels like the nicest and the most concise way to do this. I loved the location. It was so dreamy. So I'm a sucker, you know it. I'm a sucker for a grand home. I'm a sucker for a woodland. And this grand home had some creepy woods filled with, well, the woods weren't filled with folklore, but the woods were creepy and had these weird kind of trees and dilapidated tree houses. But the locals of the area had these folk tales and horror stories of the goings on within the woods. And the birds were kind of like a theme throughout the book, and I really enjoyed the creepy, like, are these birds coming for us? Are birds gonna appear? I really like that. Every so often there'd be like a little feather here and there to be like, remember, there's birds. I really like that, and I like the use of the sort of landscape. There was also a kind of beach, so if I'm imagining it correctly, there was this grand home, sprawling gardens, creepy foresty wood, and then like a cliff, and at the end of the cliff a private beach which could only be accessed through a secure gate or through a boat. The people came on by boat. So I really liked the use of the environment in this book. I feel it kind of really gave me what I wanted. I love a nice atmospheric read. I liked that it felt like everybody was hiding something, not just whoever did the murder kill, but it felt like everybody was definitely concealing something about themselves or the situation at hand. There were actually 5 POVs in this book, which I feel is kind of normal for this author. It feels like they definitely enjoy multiple POVs, and I like multiple POVs, but every perspective also had a whole big number of additional characters being mentioned, and at some point I just kind of felt overwhelmed with names and trying to remember like who's that. There was just a lot of characters to remember. In 5 different perspectives, it got a little bit messy. I don't think I should have to keep notes when I'm reading a fiction book, but I did feel like maybe I should take notes of like who is who. The grand reveal of the victim. We didn't even know who the victim was until about 80% through the book. But I feel like when the grand reveals and the twists came, I already knew what they were going to be, because not because I'm super smart and great at solving mysteries. I'm not. I read a lot of mysteries and I love them, but my favourite mysteries are the ones where I can't tell what's happening because I'm not good at working it out. I shouldn't be able to work it out. I'm really bad at it. But I knew the who, the why, we all knew the where, but I just felt like I already kind of knew all of the reveals by the time that they came, and it's just, they were a logical deduction. Like, we were getting to know about secrets from the past, and it was kind of like, well, who could they be? We have this many options, which one makes the most sense? And I just was left feeling so disappointed by this book. I'd been so excited to read it. I just found myself like, I found it easy to put this book down, and I purposely took this as my book to read before going into the office because I had an hour left of reading time and was like, just read for an hour before work and I will get this done. And I did. But I had to kind of not force myself, but definitely encourage myself with a double espresso with a little scoot of soy whip to read this, because I probably could have been okay not finishing it. I really wish there was more of the folklore element from the description of the book. I thought that was going to feature a little bit more, and I feel like had it been utilised a little bit more, I would have really enjoyed this book. It would have amped up the creepiness, but there is just so much. There's a certain level of enjoyment you can get about reading about deeply unpleasant wealthy people being horrible to local communities, and it's not fun. It's not fun kind of characters. They're not fun characters to read about. So I wanted a little something to be like, yeah, these people are awful, but look, here's some birds. Like something more of that. I just feel like I was teased with a great story and it didn't pay off. And I'm just sort of left going, I can't believe that this book came out after the guest list. This author's written loads and loads of books and very beloved. And I just can't believe that this book is their most recent one, because this reads like it should have come out maybe like a couple of years before The Hunting Party, the guest list, where it was kind of like you can see what direction the author wants to go in and just wasn't there yet. It's so strange for me to read what I feel are like some perfect thrillers and then have this book come next. It just felt like a step backwards, and I don't recommend this book, but I do recommend like The Hunting Party and The Guest List. They're really good. But this one, do not promise me creepy birdie, foresty goings on and under deliver. I'll be sad, because I really want that. I'm really busy with work right now because we have 4 times the stuff that we thought we were going to have, and that's great fun. Work is chaotic right now. So I know I have time to finish maybe one more book. I don't think I'm gonna get to my goal of 3, but I'm definitely gonna add one more to this video because I am in dire, desperate need of a good mystery. I feel unfulfilled by this book and I want to feel satisfied. So I'm gonna read one more book, and I have a murder mystery, small time murder mystery on my Kindle, which I'm gonna read next. And it's called Dead Before Dinner by Kat Belmore. So I'm going to read that next, and I'm going to come back and tell you about it. And hopefully I have a better time with that, because small town cozy murder mystery. Come on, it's got to be good. I have finished book 2. I have finished Dead Before Dinner, and I got what I wanted. I wanted a charming murder mystery in a small town. I know it was a murder mystery, but I felt it was really cozy, and I think that that was the sort of small town, like close-knit community sort of element of this story. I really like the characters. Maddie was a therapist who divorced single mother of 2, had moved back to her childhood hometown to start afresh back somewhere with pleasant memories and open up her therapy centre with her colleague and like bestie who had moved with her. And I really kind of like the way that the book tackled her trying to start a new life, and also her children dealing with this huge change of leaving their family home, starting a new life. Their dad's not around. I really liked that. I thought it was handled very well. I loved the sort of Scooby-Doo style investigation. I loved that the kids were like, you could tell us not to help look into it, but we're gonna do it anyway. And I really like that. I really like the way that this, as horrible as it sounds, the murder really brought the family together. The mystery itself was really enjoyable too. I was left being like, I don't know who did it. Could have been any of you. And I like that the book actually started by saying, don't worry, your favourite character doesn't die. Because I'm like, I need that. I appreciate that in a book. I like to know that my favourite characters are going to make it. The victims were all deeply unpleasant and unlikable, which perfect for cozy small town mystery vibes. I didn't manage to work out who done it. I'm really happy about that. I don't think it was obvious. I think that when the reveal came, I was like, gasp. And then another reveal came and I was like, double gasp. I didn't see any of this coming. And I really would like to read more books in this series. The next book, I believe, includes like a hot air balloon parade festival. That sounds so fun. I have left my little ribbon out of my book. Need to put that back in. This did exactly what it said it was going to do. It gave me a murder mystery in a small town with really fun characters. I really also like the way that the main character is kind of reuniting with all of her old school friends and like exes, and there's going to be romance. There has to be romance, and I want to know. I want to know who the romance is with. I'm very excited to continue with this series at some point. My only downside with this series is that, not series, I've only read one book, but the only thing I was left wanting more of was more small town cozy vibes. But I think that that will come organically as the series progresses, because this book was only like 250 pages long, and I feel like to really get that small town you maybe need a few more books, and then everything sort of peppered in. But I think this might be a new go-to charming series for me, and I'm so excited. I have finished 2 orange books and I hoped I was going to get more, but I will take the win where I can, because this month has been so long and it's still at the start. Let me know if you've read any of these books or just what you are currently reading, and if you want to leave a comment and you don't know what to say, give me an orange heart because that sounds cute. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!